Hello, all you wonderful people, and welcome back. My name is Ellington, and it's been a little while. I took a couple days to take a little bit of a break from recording and had a couple big streams on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, we did our hot seat event, which are 1v1 land battles. And then on Sunday, we did some Rome2 Sebides mod. So had a lot of fun with those things, but here we are back. We're going to finish up this matchup between Total War Community and Knights of L. Once again, this is from the GCSL/Apollo Rome2 tournament. But let's go ahead and get right into the teams and the army comps. We'll start off right here on the left side with the Total War Community. So first, as Swaby, we have got... Hannibal Barca. Hannibal Barca as Swaby, and we've got some Germanic Slingers, front line of Oathsworn, some Sword Masters in the back with a Noble Rider Jen. He also has a couple Cav here, Riders of the Hunt with a Noble Rider, and some Spear Levy. And then we'll stay here, but right next to him is going to be Arverni, commanded by H2O. The reason we're going to stay here is because we've got some Savage Dogs, a Noble Horse, and a Levy Freeman. Then on his front line, we've got a big line of Chosen Swords here, some Naked Warriors behind, and we've got a couple Oathsworn, Levy Freeman, and Celtic Skirmishers. Then finally, for Total War Community, or TWC, we have got Galatia being commanded by Barrel Games, and we've got some Galatian Spears, some Celtic Slingers, a front line of a lot of Galatian Legionaries with a couple of Galatian Swords, a couple more Galatian Spears, and a Noble Horse. Not very much cavalry for TWC here. Then on the other side, for the Knights of L, first off we have got Syracuse, and Syracuse is being commanded by Pieman. Right here is Cav, he's got some Mercenary Italian Cav, and then two Mercenary Companion Cav. Then his front line is pretty much all Thorax Swords, with some Mercenary Samurai Warriors as well. His general is a Hippeus Lancer. Then right next to him we have got Seleucid being commanded by Marius, and he's got 4 units of Hillman, 5 units of Thorax Swords, or 4 units, 5 units of Thorax Swords, and a huge Cav force. He has 2 Azat Knights, 2 Agema Cav, and a Hellenic Cataphract Gen. So some really, really powerful cavalry for Seleucid. Then finally, for Knights of L, we have got Masacely being commanded by Legacy. He's got a lot of Desert Legionaries here, 3 units of Desert Cohorts, and then he has 3 Gatuli Tribesmen with 1 Slave Infantry. He also has an Armored Desert Cav here, a Armored Numidian Rider Gen, and another Armored Desert Cav on the flank here. So let's go ahead and get this one kicked off and go ahead and roll with it. As we're waiting for the armies to get together, I want to announce something pretty cool. Been getting a lot of questions about YouTube memberships, things like that. So I don't have YouTube memberships open yet, but I do have a Patreon page open now. It is actually linked in the description. If you guys want to get involved with that, I would love to have you guys along. It includes getting videos a little quicker and also without ads, but also a special role on the Discord and get to play some games with me, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, go hit that link and, would love to see you there. So as you can see from that command order, we had a big command here by the Seleucid Cav here, as well as the Masacely Armored Desert Cav, making a big push off to the left. Now, the TWC here does not have a lot on this side, especially not a lot to take on that cavalry from Seleucid. Because, these Riders of the Hunt and that Noble Rider are not going to do much against the Agema Cav and Azat Knights. Now, on the other side, big push from Galatia. Galatia is wasting no time. He is pushing right into Syracuse here. And also, a lot of cavalry was actually hidden from Galatia here. So we've got 2 Noble Horse, There's 1 noble horse, 2 Cappadocian, and 1 light cavalry. So 4 spears and 4 cavalry holding this flank against 5 cavalry. So that could be interesting. The Cappadocian's pretty good cav. Noble horse is pretty good cav. But I mean, so are the Armored Desert cav. So is the Mercenary Companion, and the Hippeus Lancers are all good as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But you can see that Galatia is already getting into Galatia, as well as Arverni getting into Seleucid. Big push here from TWC, just going right in on the Knights of El here. Now the big question is going to be, can they push that other side quick enough that the big cav push from Seleucid doesn't overwhelm them here? The Azat Knights are going to do very well here, as well as the Agema cav getting good charges. This Agema cav has 76 charge bonus. You know, that is ridiculously good. Really high charge. I honestly think if I was Syracuse here, I don't think I'm going to take the fight with Galatia. I would kind of, peel back my line. Even the cavalry, I don't think there's a point in engaging that right now. I think you pull back because Galatia's going to beat you there. As well as the chosen swords for Arverni here, getting in on your thorax swords and Samnite warriors. But the cav has been activated. I forgot to say, Masacely's got 2 Numidian riders. They were hidden back in the corner. And they are going to come and they're going to try and take out Galatia's slingers. Real quick, we're going to go take a look and see how that's going over here. A big mosh pit over here. Masacely getting in on Swaby's infantry. The cav fight is all tangled together. The Agema cav doing really well. Where'd the Azat Knights go? 1 there, 62 kills. All right. We're going to go back to the other side. Okay, so Galatia did see the slinger unit, or I mean the cav, so he was able to move his slingers, but now his slingers are on the other side with the Syracuse infantry coming right at him. A little bit of a cav engagement here. Man, that Numidian riders are, slingers stuck between both. They had to choose which way they wanted to go, against the cav or against the infantry here. So they're going to lose a couple of their slingers. Seleucid's cav is peeled around and getting into the side of Arverni. 110 kills, 155 kills. Getting in on the sides there, into the back of Arverni. They peeled around, came around, and got in like this. Nicely done. The Agema cav over here with 79 kills. Looks like you got some infantry over here to help support their cavalry. But Masacely's infantry is going to be a hard, tough matchup for Swaby. Got Swordmasters in combat, though. That'll be one thing that Masacely's going to have issues with, is dealing with those Swordmasters. Masacely doesn't have a upper tier infantry to deal with that kind of stuff. 1 Numidian rider still alive. Galatian legionaries in combat with 2 thorax swords here. He must be microing, because what we want to see here, we want to get this unit around here or something. But spears coming around to help support the cav battle. Syracuse, I think this was a good idea. They pulled back and they started pushing in around on Arverni. This is a tough one, guys. They really need this Seleucid cavalry to do really well here. 120 and 77 on the, 77, 136 on the Hellenic Cataphract General, which the general is, where did the Seleucid general go? Did Seleucid already lose his, oh no he didn't. Okay, his general's right here. 150 kills now. 228 on the Agema cav. Look at that. Just slaughtering these Germanic slingers. And this is a tough one. Balance of power is pretty well in favor of the Total War community here. Got a big flank from Galatia here. Syracuse is really, at this point, just kind of buying time against Galatia while they try to clean up Arverni, and the cavalry and Masacely try to clean up Swaby. But really, Arverni is doing pretty well. His chosen swords are still alive. Celtic Skirmisher still alive. One of his Chosen Swords is flanked, though. He needs to kind of get in and assist that unit. Another Chosen going up against a Thorax here. But here comes the cavalry from Galatia to come help, as well as the Arverni general. 273 on the Agema Cav. As at Knights racking up kills of 148. Yeah, Galatia is just kind of getting in and around these guys, causing a lot of issues. I kind of wish they kept engaged here and used the other unit to wrap around. But Swaby is pretty much out of the fight here. He's got a Bloodsworn and a Swordmaster. Swordmaster with 247, so really nicely done there. But the Massasoli infantry is still pretty healthy here. Desert Cohort with 147 men, 151 kills. Gatuli Tribesman with 63. Yeah, Massasoli's infantry did really well here. The Agema Cav for Seleucid with 306 kills. The other one with 309. And this is really, really tough because it's going to be a question of they need to get this infantry back over this way and set up to... They need to basically consolidate as much as they can, because in reality, Galatia and Arverni have quite a bit left here. But I definitely think that Seleucid got the worth out of his cavalry. Payas Lancers duking it out with some mercenary Cappadocian Cav from Galatia. Then we got another Galatian Noble Horse over here, and the Noble Horse General getting into Seleucid, but it looks like Seleucid's going to get his 2 cavalry units to go chase them down. 205 on the hill and a Cataphract, so his cavalry did very, very well, did exactly what it needed to do. But I think that Syracuse is where the issue came down, was that Syracuse, you know, was engaged against Galatia, which is just not a good matchup right there. And so I think that if Syracuse had kind of postponed his attack, you know, continued to kind of fall back a little bit, allowing the cavalry on this side to do its job, I think that Syracuse would still be around, and he might have even been able to support Seleucid's center a little better, because at this point, I just don't know that the Seleucid, Massasoli, and Syracuse, I don't know if they've got enough. I think, you know, the Knights of El, you know, this is a really healthy army for Total War community. Syracuse is about to lose his general, 13 out of 80. Noble Horse Gen coming to try and help out against the Seleucid units. But really, all that's left is majority, it's Massasoli. That's it here. All right, Hippeus Lancer Gen for Syracuse is dead, leaving Syracuse with just a Thorax sword, and they're both breaking here. So at this point, I think that it looks like what they're going to do is they're kind of consolidating, getting things together so that they can push against the leftovers of Seleucid and the main force of Massasoli as a more cohesive army here. They are continuing to engage in the middle. Got a couple depleted Chosen Swords that are getting... they're fighting some Royal Peltis and Thorax Swords and getting charged by Agema Cav and Cataphracts. So, man, those Agema Cav are just tearing it up, man. I think both units got over 300-something kills. 321 and 349. So, you know, if they played this right, they could do quite a bit more on those. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I mean, Galatia has got the cavalry that he can tie that down with. You know, honestly, he could probably beat it as well, allowing his infantry to go and fully engage against Massasoli. Because he is far healthier than Massasoli is right now. Although I guess majority of what he has is Galatian swords. You know, really at this point, I guess what you want to see would be more Galatian legionaries, but for Massasoli, Desert Cohort, Legionary, Tribesmen. So about half and half, it looks like. Seleucid just kind of sending in his leftover units. Cav moving for Galatia here, moving to the left. Alright, so since Seleucid's Cav went this way, Galatia's going to kind of put some pressure on this side. Now we got a little bit of a stare-off here. Now, Arverni's Noble Horse Jen is going to come over and join Galatia here. Now, we do have some Celtic Skirmishers and the Celtic Slingers. Royal Peltas from Seleucid just broke. They just got shot to hell. And then we still have some Thorax Swords and Hillmen here from Seleucid. So he's just going to go right into the Celtic Slingers. Oh, the jab he tosses, man. Whew. 29 kills on the Hillman, 159 on the Thorax. Not bad there. Yeah, Masacely doing the right call here. Kind of taking that side of his line and pulling it in a little bit to help defend against the cavalry. If he can keep maybe some infantry in support of the Seleucid cavalry, he might be able to take the engagement here, or at least hold it. Now I got Galatian spears moving with it. I don't know now. I'm really just surprised that Galatia isn't starting to push here yet. Maybe waiting for the cav and the spears to kind of get in place. There we go. Now they're starting to push against Masacely. Could be a tough matchup here because, Galatian legionaries are pretty good, but he only has 2 of them. So in reality, the rest of what he's got is pretty much just Galatian swords and some Galatian spears, and then some depleted units back behind. They kind of both run into the same issue that neither of them gets a high-tier unit. So it's pretty much just mid-tier versus mid-tier. Very good mid-tier units, though, on both sides. Sending the Celtic Slingers probably to soak up some ammunition before they use it on the rest of their troops. Still pushing way back behind here. And then, so he's bringing the cab this way, and he's going to take the spears kind of down between. Or he's going to stop right there. Never mind. Now, Masacely is going to come in and engage these guys. Desert Legionary and 2 Gatuli tribesmen. Then here we've got a Desert Cohort, and his Seleucid Cav actually is coming over here.
Understood.
The Gama Cav and the Hellenic Cataphracts coming to support this side. But on the back here, we've got a lot of Galatian cavalry. Then our Arverni's Cav is going to come over this way and help support the Galatian spears. Kind of going in a little piecemeal, but you know what? There's a lot of them left. Galatian sword still sitting back here. But now they're full. I think it's literally just going to come down to the fact that there's way more Galatians than there are Masacely. Already got some Masacely units starting to break, getting in around the Desert Legionary here. So getting double teamed by Galatian spears, and then the Cav is pretty much fully engaged here. 337 on the Yagima Cav. Now we got the Desert Cohort getting in. 197 on them. Bringing the Galatian spear back over this way, taking away the flank on the Desert Legionary. Might take the Arverni Gen and just do some cycle charging there, or even come over here and get into that. Yeah, Galatia's Noble Horse getting out. Probably going to come around. He might even be just pulling back so he doesn't lose him. May not be a bad idea there. Now, the Seleucid Cav is gone, so, yep, there you go. Get out of there with that cavalry. Let the Galatian spears hold him off while you come off. I'm kind of surprised that he's going this way. I think I would go into this Desert Legionary over here instead. But, I mean, there's a lot of places he can hit, to be honest with you. 314 on the Seleucid Gen, 397, almost 400 on the Agima Cav. Yep, 403 now. 174 on the Desert Legionnaire, but they are starting to break. General's dead for Masacely. Now we've got a pretty much full surround happening here. Arverni Gen coming in there. Then it looks like Galatia's going to come in behind here. Yeah, pretty much all of Galatia's Cav is going to turn around and go right there. I think it's probably the right way to go there. Some screenshots there. But I think it's safe to say that this is going to be GG. All right, so we have Total War Community taking the field battle, which means that they will get to decide whether they want to attack or defend in the final tiebreaker battle between Total War Community and Knights of L. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Keep an eye out. Me and Joe and Gorm have all got content coming out. So keep your eyes peeled. Their YouTube links are in the description down below. But we will see you guys next time.